Alright guys, this is my 1958 Kombi. I'm going to start a restoration video here. Don't know if that's something people would want to see, but I'll give it a try. Never done this before. Let's give you a little tour of how it looks. It's fairly solid. It's got its regular bits of rust on it here. Rear corners aren't too bad. The bottoms, of course, need a little bit of work. This bus was found somewhere in northern Alberta. Laying in the dirt, so the bottom side of it needs quite a bit of work. Outriggers and cross members and such. The worst of this bus is the floor in the front here. I've never taken one out before or restored one, but I'm gonna learn. It is more than Swiss cheese. I have it on the rotisserie right now, so it's kind of ready to go. Pulled it apart a bit, and then I thought, well, I better start filming. Here's the dog legs. Not so bad. Once I get inside of them, we'll see. Fronts will need some work here. Nose is not bad. Lower part, of course. All the junk getting caught behind the dash there. This is kind of the worst of it here. But I'll have to probably do a bunch of work all the way across here. Done a couple restorations before, so we'll see how this one goes. I'm not a professional by any means, just do it for fun. The roof is good. Somebody did cut a little hole in it. I think it was maybe going to be some kind of camper or something, so there's a hole up there. Looks like maybe a chimney was going to be installed. I borrowed the rotisserie from a friend. Works so good. I don't know how you ever do any kind of restoration without one. This corner had been totally bashed in. I've been working on it already. It's not by any means perfect. I'm gonna have to find a little donor piece there. But it was completely collapsed in. So just with a little bit of persuasion from the inside, I got it bashed out. I don't know what I'm gonna do with paint on this. It's just going to be a preservation, so it's and a driver and something you can just drive around and have some fun in. So it's not going to be a show quality bus. There's the next chimney. So fill that. The seat pedestal is really good, actually. Cleaned up really nice. When I got it, it was just full of leaves and such. Didn't beat it up too badly. The dash is not too bad. I'm going to take all of this apart. The speedometer is toast. It's had water sit in there for years. One little hole cut into the dash there. I'm not sure. Maybe a nice sticker will cover that. This is all good here. Putting all this up. Other than that, it's pretty good. I think my plan for this is to get rid of all the rust and then paint it something, maybe the trim clad paint job, and then I think I want to make it into just a little camper so we can take it out west, put it around. Floors are decent, they're ripply. Corners need some work. I have a bunch of metal I can put in there. Somebody had used it for a storage shed for old boat motors. So there's a bunch of grease right there. So there's no rust right there. Completely packed with grease. So I'll have to somehow remove that. Here's a hole. That's pretty typical. Get that sorted. I guess the first step is taking everything apart. Front floors here are really bad, so I'm just going to start on them. I'm going to get some of these rusty bolts out. Let's see how bad that floor is. The outside of the floor is not bad, so I think I won't have to fix too much. You can see the edge of it. So it's just the floor. I'm sure there'll be some bits I have to repair, but yep, pretty bad. I think it was full of leaves. I'll show you the inside. You can kind of see it a little bit better. Strange because the outside isn't so rusty. It's just the floor. There's some crusty bolts. So I gotta take all these out of here first, pull the floor out, and then make a plan. Coming along nicely. That edge needs a bit. Lower dog legs were sitting in the mud. There's only a couple welds that hold this front on, which is kind of nice. This edge is not so bad. It'll need a bunch of grinding yet, but it's cleaning up nice. The floor is pretty much all out. Gonna have to take the heater tube out so we can get the new floor in. I'll need to order a new floor. Gotta do a little work here yet. It's so thin, the metal. Been just throwing a lot of penetrating oil on all these bolts and such. Everything is so seized up. Clutch is free, but the brake pedal is locked right up. So I'll take that off. Steering box, I've been putting penetrating oil on that too. I'll take that off and probably pull it apart, restore it, put new fresh grease inside. Now you can see how crusty the bottom of this bus is. Bad. Frame rails are okay. This cross member is pretty much all gone. Heater tube I'll pull off and probably have to get a new one. This cross member is okay, but it's completely full of mud. So I'll replace it because it's paper thin as well. Everything back here is pretty solid. The battery box is not bad. Again, why is the battery box good in this one and all of the other ones it's bad? Everything back here has a bunch of surface rust on it, but it's actually really solid. Degrease a bunch of stuff. I think I'll just replace all the metal on the bottom and then paint the bottom just with Rust-Oleum. That should protect it for a bunch of years. All right, I'll start working on the front here, getting all of these pieces taken off, or at least free, so we can, not gonna wreck anything. This piece right here is the clutch cable connector, I guess. That's where the pedal comes in, and it is solid. Keep putting penetrating oil in there to see if I can get it off. Everything is so seized up. Oh, a little bit of movement there, not a lot. The brakes off here. Replacing this brake master cylinder. Sure, it's toast. Okay, so that broke off. Kind of thought that was gonna happen. Take this off for now. Washer nut. Yeah, that's all pretty rusty. See if we can get that out eventually. Just take this ball joint off here. Not off the bottom. This slides in there. Get it over in there. This is a pretty slick tool. Just get it in there. Wrench. There. This is actually a new part. Somebody had put it on there. I don't know when. But it's pretty neat, so I'll keep it. Reuse it. I have to take this heater tube off because when I put the new floor in and this piece out of there, so I'm gonna have to cut that weld, cut a couple of these bolts here. Let's see if this whole unit will come out of there. Let's try this. Now we can work on this as well. This turns to let heat onto your feet or up to the dash. And it's, of course, it's solid. Full look on this as well. I think I'm going to take this insulation off of the heater tube. I don't think you want to breathe this stuff into that way, so be careful. What are the chances this will come undone real easy? I bet very slow. I'll be cut it. Okay, I'll just do a little bit more cutting on that nut there. See if I can split it here. That moves. Oh yeah, there it is. One more time. rusty, but not so bad. I think it's still reusable. Perfect. Probably have to fix that or replace it, I'm not sure. The side is pretty bad too. See how many tubes are fine still. They look not bad. This stuff is so bad. There's just dirt falling out of it. I think the top hat is okay underneath of it. So I guess the next step is to pull the bad metal out of here and try to, I do have new metal to put in there. Just try to clean everything up. I'll probably just wire wheel everything and then put trim clad on it. It'll be all right for a while. Well, I think that's about it for today. Took the heater tube out, kind of inspected the bottom. Most of the tubes are fine. Gotta replace those parts. I also did notice that there's a hole in the frame rail here, so I'll have to repair that. Everything else on the frame rails looks pretty good. They're rusty, but they'll clean up nice, I think. Still working on this clutch shaft here. It is stubborn. Took the floor out today. That actually went better than I thought. I was not looking forward to that. Yeah, well, pretty good day. This is what I pulled out of the floor. That's the pile. All right, thanks for watching.